Alright guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Hyperactive Vibes. So now you are on the third part of a 4-part series giving you all some tips and tricks on how to navigate living and traveling abroad. I'm so glad if you guys have made it this far. As you all know, these videos come out every Monday, and I'm glad that you guys have made it to the third one. This means that you guys are starting to instill a habit in coming back every Monday. Thank you all. So in this video, I'll be giving you all some tips and tricks on living and traveling abroad once you arrive in the country. So once you're there, once you get off the airplane and you get smacked with the 110 degrees, you get smacked with the -5 degrees, wherever you may be, these are some tips and tricks on how to navigate your arrival. Here we go. It has been way too long. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Hyperactive Vibes, Hyperactive Vibes. So number one, you are now on the ground. You have now entered the country. You're walking into the community. You are engulfed with so much that you've never seen before, hopefully. And it is now your time to put your best foot forward. It's your time to put in some effort. So number one is to put in some effort. It's your time to put yourself out there. This is now your time to like mingle and mix with the locals. You are on the ground. Go experience the nightlife. Find a buddy. Take that opportunity to meet a new person. You may not ever hang out with them again. You may not ever, do anything with them again, or they may end up becoming your go-to buddy or someone who you can truly rely on, or someone just a part of your circle. But put yourself out there. It is now your time to put in the effort. So that is number one, to put yourself out there, okay? So say hi to some locals, engage in conversation, be friendly, okay? Let's see what this trip, what this new journey has in store for you. All right, so that's number one. Put yourself out there. Number two, I guess kind of is a part of number one, which is to mingle with the locals. So this means go to a local restaurant, go to a local area and be friendly. You're gonna see people smiling at you. And if you look different than whatever the average person in that community looks like, then you may have people trying to approach you and ask you questions or just trying to engage in conversation with you and be really friendly. I know in my case, when I first started high school and I was me and my brother were the only American people, let alone Black Americans, it was a new experience and people were asking me all types of questions. I was asked if I was related to Oprah, if I knew Michael Jordan, etc. So people really, they just want to know they want to get to know you. They want to know who you are and kind of how you operate. And you look a little different than them, you act a little different than them. So it's completely normal for people to want to kind of just learn about you. So embrace that aspect and embrace the fact that you are different or that you are bringing something new to the table, and feel free to share and mingle and mix with the community that is trying to welcome you. And if you may have an experience where people are not being so welcoming. If that is the case, then like I said in part one, be open-minded. It could be that they're not used to you or the way you operate, and that's nothing to be shy about or that's nothing to hide about yourself, but it may be something that you just have to consistently put out there so that people become kind of used to you, or they kind of open themselves to learning about you, because people definitely are able to like reciprocate energy. So if they feel like you're being open, then over time people will start to become more open with you. But if they feel like you're being a little standoffish, then people in the community may be standoffish with you. So it's really important that you mix and mingle and actually put in the effort. That was part one, put in the effort to kind of put yourself out there and to have a good adjustment period, whether you're staying there for a few days, a week, a month, a few years. Put yourself out there and mix and mingle with the community. Number three kind of pulls from part two of this 4-part series, and that was to find your community. And in the previous part, I told you all to find your community and use like Facebook as a tool. But now that you're actually on the ground, now you have an advantage because you're not limited to just the internet and just what you can find through social media. Now you're actually able to go to the different places that you may have researched, and you're able to actually step into these new spaces and put your physical self out there. And there's so many more people and so many more opportunities that may come your way when you're actually physically there in that space and you're able to kind of navigate the day-to-day operations. So what I mean to say is that when you actually physically put yourself in that situation, who knows what type of opportunity or what type of experience you may gain. And if you're putting yourself out there, and if you're being open-minded and like putting your best self out there, then it could be something positive for the best for you. So put yourself out there and definitely go out into the community and try to interact and find your community within the actual community. So go out and enjoy the nightlife and kind of figure out where you belong. So I know I'm kind of rambling at this point, but if you're into like libraries and you're into reading, then go to those areas where you know you'll be able to do something that you like and get that experience in this different place. But you also may run into someone, or you may end up fostering a new friendship along the way, and that person may have a similar interest in you, especially if you're doing something that you already normally like to do. So that's definitely something to like keep in mind, is that when you go out and you engage in the activities that you normally like to do, or something similar to that in the country that you're in, now you're able to find like-minded people. So number 3 is to find your community by going out into the community. Okay. So tip number 4 is to create your community. So let's say you go out and you're putting your best foot forward, you're mingling with the locals, you're trying to find your group of people, but it's not necessarily working out. Then it's time for you to create your community. So some examples of that are creating your own radio station. So when I was in the Middle East and the United Arab Emirates, a local, like an American couple, they had created a radio station there, and it was tailored towards American music. And that was a way to kind of unite people and kind of meet new people who share a common interest of you. Another thing that personally my mom did was she started to host parties, and she did that for teens in the country and teams in the specific community that we were in. So by the time we actually got to the country, my mom had hosted proms and parties and all sorts of events, and it made us having a community of people around our age a lot easier. So sometimes you have to take that initiative and actually like put yourself out there to an extent where you are creating the community where you want to see and you want to be involved in. So that moves us on to our very last tip, which is to learn some basic words. Now, okay, maybe you should have been doing this before you actually got to the country, but now that you're here and you've done these things, or you're trying to get the hang of the community and the environment that you're in, now it's time for you to kind of learn some words. So whether it's something basic as a hello, a marhaba, a hola, a assalamu alaikum, whatever it may be, it's time for you to learn some basic words, because that will definitely help you navigate the framework and the community that you're now a part of, whether you're traveling just to visit or whether you're going there to live there or go to school there. So learning some basic words, learning how to say please or thank you. So in Arabic it would be min fadlik, or shukran, which is thank you. Min fadlik is please, will definitely help you navigate the community a little better. And it also might give you a little leg up with the locals, because now they know you're actually trying to, get to know them and investing in making sure that you are like creating some type of common ground. It just shows that you're invested. It shows that you're trying. It shows that you're not just there like, lollygagging around, like you're actually trying to be a part of a community or contribute to a community or understand a community in some way. So definitely think about learning some words. It'll come in hand even if you're going to the grocery store to go shopping, or if you're trying to figure out the cost of a taxi or the cost of a bus ride. Like, it helps out to know a few basic words in whatever the dominant language is in the place that you're moving. All right, guys, so those are the 5 tips Number 1 was to put some effort in. Now you're there. It's time for you to put your best foot forward. Number 2 was to mingle with the locals. Number 3 was to find your community. Number 4 was to create your community. And number 5 was to learn some basic words in the dominant language. So if you were to take on those 5 tips and tricks and kind of, even do 1 out of the 5 of them, it'll definitely make your journey a lot smoother, and you'll find that you're really connecting with the people of the community a lot easier. And I keep saying like community and environment a lot, but those are like the key words when it comes to living or moving abroad, because you are now engulfing yourself into something which is hopefully new to what you know, and it can be kind of daunting if you feel like you're alone. So it's important that if you are moving or traveling or vacationing somewhere, that you kind of get to know the community and the environment that you are in. So that's why I use those words a lot, because it's so key in trying to navigate a new space, is getting to know the framework of the community and the environment that you are now putting yourself into. So thank you all for tuning into this video. This was part 3 of a 4-part series. Tune in next Monday for our last and final part of some tips and tricks of living and traveling abroad. And if you guys want some more tips and tricks, maybe on how to navigate specific situations, then let me know by leaving a comment down below. If you all have any tips and tricks on what to do when you actually arrive in a country, then leave that down below. And feel free to like this video. Like I said in part 1, it does nothing for you, but it does numbers for me. Yes, I did steal that little quote from African Beauty, but it's such a great quote. So like this video, like I said, it does nothing for you, does numbers for me. And don't forget to subscribe, because your girl is now consistent. You can expect consistency from this point onwards. All right, thank you all for tuning in, and I hope that you all have a great day. Bye, and don't forget to pass those 5s. Bye, y'all.